What a match of tennis we have just witnessed in Madrid. It is being called the match of the year. I've watched all 3 hours of it and it was special. The number 1 versus the number 2. Aryna Sabalenka versus Iga Swiatek. And Iga managed to come through in 3 tight sets. Let's get straight into it, and Iga beats defending champion Aryna Sabalenka 7-5, 4-6, 7-6 to win Madrid for the very first time. She saved 3 match points. It's her 9th WTA 1000 title, and she hasn't now lost a match on clay from a setup since 2019. She's also kept the run going on all Masters events when she wins that first set. But God, it was close. This does not tell the story of the match at all. I mean, you can see this bit here where she said, where Jose wrote she saved 3 match points, and of course you can see just from that Sabalenka was close. But even that, you don't realise this match you could not call it. There was nothing separating either player, and I don't think it's fair for me to come on here and just congratulate Iga. Because it feels to me, and this is the first time I can probably say this on a podcast after a match, where it felt like either player would have won that match, and it was so close, it just come down to the tiniest of margins right at the end. And maybe, if anything, Iga's little bit of consistency and know-how in finals was the difference. I thought Sabalenka played an exceptional match. It's probably some of the best tennis I've ever seen from Sabalenka. I think she's matured so much this year. She seems so much more settled at big moments. She found aces to save match points. She found big serves at big moments. She didn't double fault. She found second serve aces. She was hitting lines under pressure. She was volleying. There wasn't a weakness. But yet, she still finds herself here after this match losing it. And I think that's just credit to Iga. You can see how much it meant to Iga. She fell to the floor, saved all the championship points, but she never gave up. And you can see the emotion and how much it meant to her. She was sobbing, went straight over to the box when it was finished. And very composed, Iga. That is the difference between the two of them. Sabalenka's roaring throughout the match. Iga is a lot more composed, a bit more controlled with her emotions. But I think it just works for different people. Everyone's got a different style. But for her, it certainly helps her. It's very much like a Jannik Sinner. You can probably draw some similarities to her and Jannik. Of course, with the amount of times they're winning, it's pretty easy to as well. And this is a nice one from Gaspos and take a bow, Iga and Sabalenka. 3 hours 11, which I believe now is the longest women's match of 2024, beating the Mertens one. And it was an outstanding battle between the 2 best players in the world. Unbelievable resilience from the both of them. And it's an instant classic, one of the best finals I've ever watched. I could do an hour-long video speaking about all of the points. It was tennis where it seemed like there was a lot on the line. It wasn't just, I'm trying to win this match. It felt like they were winning this match because their life depended on it. I've never seen Aryna Sabalenka covering so much court. Iga was finding lines, finding so many great angles like she always does, and Sabalenka was running everything down. It's just really cruel that we've had to have a loser here. Vance sums it up saying nobody deserved to lose it. Tennis won tonight. That was an unforgettable final from both. Somehow surpassed last year, which I didn't think was possible. In my memory, this for sure is one of the best matches, especially on the women's, I've seen since the podcast, probably. I can't really recall a better one in terms of the unforced errors were there at times. I remember seeing Sabalenka maybe making a few more going long, to be expected. But on the whole, it was predominantly just big strokes and winners and long rallies and great serving and passion and hunger. It had everything you would want to see in a tennis match. It wasn't missing in any way, shape or form. And Iga winning a battle like this, I think it just makes her so dangerous now. Of course, she already was very dangerous, but now she's looking at this with how good she is on the clay court. She's never won Madrid before today. She's now won a title in Madrid. She's now done so many great things on hard courts and beaten Sabalenka playing like that. The confidence that's going to give her, I feel like, could be like an air of indestructibility. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see her dominate the rest of this year. I think it's going to give her a lot of confidence in matchups against Rybakina, someone she struggles with, knowing that she can dig deep in a big moment, in a final, against a player who's playing lights out tennis for large spells. She was up a break, Sabalenka, in the third set, but Iga kept her at bay and just kept fighting and making her play another ball. And I just generally fear for Rybakina in this situation, because I think it's taken them two up another level. And if they can perform like that, Rybakina, I think, has a little bit more to give, and she's going to have to show something more to get to that level. Exactly the same for Coco Gauff, because it feels to me the level I saw today from Sabalenka and Iga is the very top, is the very best. I'm not sure if I've seen Rybakina get to them heights, so let's see how she will respond. This is another stat, and this is Iga's claimed tournament victory in 31% of WTA 1000 main draws enters, the highest percentage of any player since they were introduced in 2009. She's 22 years old, bearing in mind. So you can just, well, I don't even know if you can imagine it. I mean, how many Grand Slams is she going to be able to win? How many Masters titles is she going to win come the end of her career? Is she going to be able to rival the likes of Serena Williams? It seems like it. It really does. Because she's got a knack of winning finals as well. And that's 29 titles for her. It's astonishing, really. I mean, Serena Williams is second with 26.5%. She's doing better than that. And if you look at the most WTA 1000 titles for active players, you've got Azarenka with 10, Venus with 9, Kvitova 9, Halep 9, Iga now is on 9, and she's 22. All the other players at the top, they're coming to the end of their career. She's probably going to, I don't even want to put a number out, 30? Is that excessive, me saying 30 WTA 1000 titles? 25? It could even be more. I mean, the numbers are astonishing, and I don't know. I don't know who's going to stop her. I mean, Sabalenka playing the way she did, if she can't stop her, then nobody can. But saying that, I think it was such a close one. Sabalenka on another day would have won that match. It was a 50-50 matchup. Both players exceptional. So if Sabalenka and Iga both produce results like that, I think even next time, if there was to match that level, we could even easily see a Sabalenka win. It was that close. This is a nice tweet, and it's from Juan Ignacio, a big fan of the WTA, and it just shows now Iga's success in all of the big events. So Australian Open, she's got to a semi-final. She's won all the others. She's got to a quarter-final of Wimbledon, semi-final of the Canadian Open, semi-final of, not sure which one this is in America. I don't think it's the US Open, because I think she's won the US Open. That's down here. And she's won the tour finals as well. So just a level above everyone, really. A level above everyone. And in terms of big titles, she's won everything. Moving on to some more stats for Iga, and she is now the first player to win 7 consecutive WTA level finals since Iga, of course, 10 in 2022. I think it was between Roland Garros 2020 and the US Open 2022. There you go. Lion-hearted. 7 WTA finals in a row. So it just goes to show, when she gets to these finals, she has this ability to just get it over the line. You can't say she was the better player today. There was nothing separating them, but still she managed to find that extra something, that winning formula. I don't even know what it was, just to be able to clinch it against Saba. And a few funny ones to end, and this is what she said after the match. She said, let me pause it. Who is going to say now that women's tennis is boring? And the crowd laughed. And it's a very valid question because I've been criticised, I'm sure, a few times. Ben has as well. And many people on Twitter sometimes saying the women's tour can be a little bit boring. We're big advocates of it, of course. But there's been times where I've watched certain Grand Slams in recent years and I've not been too impressed. I remember the recent one with, is it Vondrausova and Ons Jabeur? I thought that was quite poor. There was another poor one featuring Coco Gauff. But when you see tennis like this, then who's going to say it's boring? Because probably the best match I've seen this year, including the men's as well. I think this was very watchable. I could sit through match after match. If this was 5 hours, I could have sat there and watched it all. It was that good. So hopefully we can see more exciting tennis like that. And I quite liked it, giving a dig back to some of the world and myself maybe at times. And I like that because I think it's a fair statement to make. If you can produce tennis like that, though, everyone is not going to criticise and they're going to be very, very invested. The final one I've got is quite funny. It's towards the end of the video. You can see the fireworks went off. And yeah, she jumped out of her skin. I mean, I did jump as well, watching it live. It was extremely loud and it scared Iga. She wasn't ready for it at all and had a bit of a shock. But there we go. That's enough from me. That is my reaction to the Madrid Open Final in which Iga beat Sabalenka. It's crushing for Sabalenka. I'm hoping it doesn't knock her confidence. I don't think it will. I think we're seeing a new level from her. We're seeing a very confident version. And I would expect her to still win plenty of titles this year. And you never know. If she can get to a final against Iga again, I'm sure they're going to play many of them, and produce that level, next time she may get a bit of fortune on her side and convert one of them championship points. But that's enough from me. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you soon.